Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Joy Show, where being you is celebrated. Joy is an acronym for just one you, recognizing that we're all unique and special, and we bring our uniqueness to everything that we do. I'd like to begin today with the land acknowledgement. So, as we gather together, we acknowledge that we're standing on the historical land of the Wendat peoples and more recently, the Mississaugas and the Haudenosaunee nations. It is now home to many diverse First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island. May we walk alongside our Indigenous family, recognizing our shared stewardship of the earth. Let us carry forward the spirit of unity, understanding, and resilience that we've been reminded of through our reflections. And let us hold in our hearts the intention to learn, to support, and to advocate for justice and sovereignty for us all. In doing so, we acknowledge our interconnectedness and the strength that comes from standing together in truth, respect, and love. May this intention guide us in our actions and thoughts, inspiring us to contribute to a world where the dignity and rights of all are honored. Let us be mindful of the role we play in this ongoing journey towards healing and unity. By making this acknowledgement, we strive to be allies, take an active part in reconciliation by honoring the land, the history, as well as the unique heritage and culture of the Indigenous peoples. This fosters our commitment to create a world that works for the highest and best good of all. Please take a moment to acknowledge your personal commitment to the land you are on and the path you choose to walk going forward. Miigwech. Well, my guest today is Jamieson Edwards, originally from Jamaica, immigrated to Canada, and is a remarkable, talented, gifted human being, and shows up as Fleur Fantasie as his drag persona. Please welcome Jamieson Edwards to our show. Jamieson, hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, good to see you again.
Yes,
You
yes,
look so
yes.
different than when I saw you last.
Ooh.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about your journey and how you came to discover Fleur Fantasy as your drag persona.
Wow. I guess it started in my mother's living room when
Okay.
I first got introduced to RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, I
It
love RuPaul.
very first season, the very, very first season.
I've seen
And
that season.
it was exciting. And
It
it was
was.
it was something that was very new to me. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow. Then we continued watching season one, season two, season three. And for some reason, it just sparked a love and a desire to want to be that character, to want to
Yeah.
be in that element, and to want to be, that over the top, glittery, glamour, funny, witty, campy kind of person.
Oh, and you do it well.
Definitely, definitely. And
Yes.
that it just blossomed the love for wanting to be not just a drag queen, but a drag
Yeah.
artist. Because for me, art
Yes.
has the power to inspire, to heal, to motivate,
Mm,
and to educate,
yes.
reach the deep depth of the heart. So it
Yeah.
transcends beyond the superficial. It transcends beyond that of what persons may see it as an entertainment value. It has its
Yes.
place, it has its
Yes.
time, and most importantly, it has its purpose.
You know what? It really does. It really does. And it's such a beautiful art. Like, I gotta say, I'm a little jealous that I can't make myself look that good. Because I'll tell you, when I look at, in watching RuPaul's Race and watching, everyone getting into their makeup and stuff, I mean, it really takes a very long time. So, whoa, I don't know where you find the patience, but good on you. And, but watching it, it really is like painting a canvas.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your process as you get ready to become Fleur.
So
Fleur
first
Fantasie.
and so first and foremost, ensuring that you know your lyrics is key. Before you put on the hair, before you put on the lashes, before you put on the dress or the costume, ensuring that you know your lyrics is key. So I always practice.
Know the lyrics. Yes,
Yes, know your lyrics. Ensure that your mouth is in sync with whatever it is the singer is saying.
that's true because lip sync, not as easy as one would think.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also I practice a lot in the mirror. So sometimes I look at my face and look at, okay, would this is facial expression go with that word, or would that movement be in sync with
Good.
that part of the song? So then you start to now formulate how you would go about bringing across the message that the song is saying. It may come
Yep.
through the way you use your mouth, the way you gesticulate, or the way you use choreography to bring out that message.
Nice.
And
So, how
that
long before you're on Canada's Drag Race?
okay, well, I'm a baby drag queen right now,
Uh,
so
I'm going to argue with you right there because your performance last Sunday in our service was exemplary. Like Jameson, it was fantastic. I really, truly, truly loved it. And I got to send you a video of it because it really was very good. And you could use that in your marketing. You could send that to RuPaul. And oh, I'm not pushing you into RuPaul's arena, but because we hate to lose you here. But I just got to say that you're very good, very, very good.
thank you so much. So then now you start to look at what costume are you going to wear? What hair would you wear?
Mm,
Okay, so if I wear blonde hair, would it match this black jacket? So you start to now conceptualize the look. Sometimes you may want to be deliberate and dress as the artist who sang the song. Or other times you may want to put your own spin on it and just have an
yeah,
abstract kind of a dressing. So when that has been done, then you go about getting everything together.
yeah,
And yeah, so showtime, you arrive early, ensure the mind is ready,
yeah.
and then the painting begins.
Yeah, well, and that is a real art to come to that place where you can transform. I'm getting Deja to pull up a photo of Fleur Fantasy because really you look very different. I mean, obviously you would, but when I look at you now, I'm not sure I would recognize you, right? I recognize you in drag, but I'm not sure I would recognize you out of drag had I not seen both,
Yes.
right? And that's awesome. Good. Like, and so it should be, right? It shouldn't.
Yeah, well, you see two different personas. You see the she,
Yeah,
her, and then you get to
absolutely.
see the
Oh,
he,
she's going to
him.
include me in this picture. I mean, there you are. You
Oh
look
my!
fantastic. Wow, wow. Yeah, that's when I look at, how different you look when it comes to that, because you look like a gorgeous woman, which you're supposed to, but I love it. I love it. And the song you sang, I Believe, was
Mhm.
so perfect for what we were doing. So, how is your family around this whole drag thing? Is your family good with this, or how are your friends, family, people who knew you in Jamaica, people who know you here? How is it?
Well, that's a very sore point. My mother doesn't know that I'm doing this. Neither does the rest of
Okay.
my family. I have only shown this to one of my sisters, and she's like, "Go, boy, work it." Uh,
Good, good.
and the other close friends of mine who I have in my trusted circle, they have been extremely supportive. They're like, oh, surprisingly, I sent a clip of my performance on Sunday at your church service to like
Yeah.
four different persons, and they all sent a message saying, "You sang this song live, right?" I'm like, no way. They're like, Jameson, you sang this song live. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like,
beautiful.
yeah. I was like, no, I didn't. I was just in my element. They're like, your mouth was moving word for word, your actions interpreted the song. This is your song.
Uh, and I have to agree because I mean, I was sitting very close to you, so I had a really good view of your lip syncing, and it was right on. You did excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So tell me what your big dream is. Where do you want to go with this?
Okay. So first and foremost,
Yes.
I will still say I'm a baby drag queen.
Okay, okay, yes.
And for me, right now, it's about just gaining exposure, being in spaces where I can show more than just a drag queen, but infuse my love for poetry, my love for writing
Ah,
into my drag
yes.
persona as well. So I could have these two as my product that I market.
I
And
love
with
it.
the continuous exposure, being in the right spaces, connecting and networking with the right people, then it will take me into places where I will be going. And ultimately, I will
Look
be
how
on RuPaul's
beautiful.
Drag Race, but Canada's Drag Race first.
Yes, yes, of
You know, you have
course,
to
of
start
course.
at home. You have to start at home.
I agree.
Then
Yeah.
after the world stage, we'll see Fleur Fantasie in her fullest blossoming glory.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What's interesting to me is hearing, the amount of time you spend practicing, being in front of the mirror, making sure that you know the lyrics and the expressions that go with the words, that you're really performing the song to the very best of your ability. And I love your dedication to that because I don't think people necessarily recognize the amount of time it takes to be able to produce that one performance. Like it's a bit of work.
Mhm.
Look
And
how
also,
beautiful you are.
I don't know who is this. This is Fleur. This is not Jameson.
This is Fleur Fantasie, and she's gorgeous.
Indeed, she is. Indeed, she is. And for me, when I perform, it's more of a sentimental healing value for me, and it
Mhm.
kind of gives me it kind of reaffirms what I know, and gives me that understanding that hey, the song I sang was I believe. Looking at yourself, looking at the challenges that you've gone through, and searching deep within to find that inner sincere part of you, and allowing that to come out, and allowing that to just transform and heal lives. And when I chose this song, actually the song chose me. Because I was getting on the subway and I was wondering, I'm like, okay, I have a performance for Barbara. What am I gonna do? Okay, I have this song. Like, no. Then instinctively I just started humming. I just
Mhm.
started humming. And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's the song.
that's the
That's the
song.
song. And
Yeah.
this, and for me, this song was fitting because you did make mention that you were going to be speaking about self-love, one's journey. And Fantasia being an artist on American Idol, her journey getting
It's
to that
amazing.
audition was one that was, it was met with lots of challenges. And she singing that song, winning American Idol, it just said, you know what, I believe. And she
I
never
believe.
stopped believing.
And that I think is the most important part of our life journey is figuring out who we are, believing in ourselves, and loving ourselves enough to let that light out, let that light shine.
Yeah.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This
Yeah, there you go. I'll sing, you lip sync.
let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I love it. I love it. What I truly love about drag, because I have I've been watching I've been watching RuPaul since the beginning. I'm watching all of the, I've watched Canada. I haven't watched the UK. I hear it's really good.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah,
oh.
I hear it's excellent. What I love about it is that it is an expression of self that unfortunately in the United States is under attack, and here in some places as well. Um, and that makes me sad because I think it is just simply an art form that has been going on for centuries.
Exactly.
Who are the
Yes.
original actors in the world? Always men dressed as women.
Yes.
Now we're going bad and wrong. Like,
Why?
exactly.
The question is, and I always say this: are you causing harm to anyone? No.
Exactly.
Are you
Yeah.
discriminating against anyone? No. Are
Yeah.
you infringing anybody's rights? No.
No.
Are you doing something that is derogatory? No.
No.
Finally, are you doing something that is illegal and not law abiding?
No.
No.
Well,
So,
unless you're in the southern US.
yes.
Tennessee, it is now illegal
Yes. Well,
to
yes.
do
In that
drag.
instance, yes. But minus that, then it's not illegal.
No, there's nothing. It's, what I love about anytime I watch drag, go to a drag show, see whatever. What I love the most is the incredible joy and celebration I'm seeing on everyone's face, from the performers to the audience. Everybody's having a really good time. And that to me speaks volumes that this is actually a really positive thing. So tell me, what are your thoughts about the people who are a little outraged that drag queens would read to children at the library?
I think these persons, maybe they have that inner saboteur or that inner demon that they haven't dealt with,
Yeah,
and they're afraid of change. They're
yeah,
afraid of embracing the new normal. They're
yeah.
afraid of seeing past what they've been taught, seeing what they've been conditioned to believe, and
Mhm.
that to me is, instead of us progressing, it is they're actually regressing.
Yeah,
A drag queen reading to a child.
I know. It's fun.
Let's focus on that. The most
Yeah,
important thing is education and
yeah.
educating that child through text,
Yes.
enhancing on their listening skills, how they
The
look
visual.
at the person's mouth when they make the sounds, the
Mhm,
expression that the person gives, and
mhm,
understanding in order to interpret the story in their own way, whether it be orally, whether it be them doing a painting. And there are
mhm.
so many beautiful facets and layers to just a drag queen reading to a child. Some children, and we can't deny the fact that children learn formally in the classroom and informally. So whether a parent wants a child to be exposed to a drag queen or not, we have several television shows that have drag queens being inclusive in everything that they do. And the children see, do parents get to see everything that children watch on a daily basis? The answer is no. So what are we trying to hide the children from?
Yeah.
Let's look at key values: respect, trust, love, appreciation, and oneness. Let's
Yeah.
instill these values instead. You see
I
someone that's
agree.
different, you respect that person. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
You may not have to agree, you may not have to
Yeah.
like, but respect is key. And
Yeah.
that's all what it is. So rather than looking at the drag queen's life as a major problem, instill in your kids the values that would take them from one point to the next. And these values will carry them on throughout the entire life, because respect has been there from inception. It's
Yes.
still going to be here while we were alive. It's still going to be here when we're not there, when we've left this earth, and it's still continue to be present. So there is nothing more than teaching the virtues of life: love, appreciation,
Yeah.
respect.
Well, that's beautifully said. I can tell you're a teacher.
I actually taught for 10 years.
Well, and it makes sense, and I gather that you enjoyed it immensely.
I did. I was a character in the classroom.
I'll
For me,
bet kids loved you.
there was never a dull moment. Children would be sick and be like, the parents would call me, say, Mr. Edward, my daughter is not well, but she's telling me she wants to come to school because she doesn't want to miss language class because you all sing and drum. I want you to speak to her, please, sir, because she wants to come and she doesn't want to listen to me. I just let her know that she needs to stay up to rest. So I'm saying, hi, Abigail. Are you okay? No, sir. Sir, I have a cough. And sir, I want to come to class, but I don't want to miss out. I say, Abigail, remember when we looked at diseases, sometimes when we cough, we could always spread it and someone else can get sick, right, Abigail? Yes, sir, but sir, I don't want to miss out. Abigail, remember that there are other days in the week. So when you get better, you'll be able to come back to class and we will have a wonderful time. So
Oh, I
right now,
love
mommy is doing her best to take care of you. Just allow mommy to take care of you and get better soon. Can you do that for me, please,
that.
Abigail? Okay, Mr. Edwards. So bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh,
And that was it.
that's awesome. What grades did you teach, or what grade?
I actually went up the level. So I started at the elementary, I went
Yeah,
to junior, and I moved to high school.
nice. I love high school students.
Yes.
I always really enjoyed working with the teenagers. They're curious and creative and outrageous and fabulous,
And they
and
challenge.
and they will challenge everything you think you know about yourself.
Oh,
They'll dig in and find all the little
yeah.
spots, and they'll call you on it for sure.
That is
I
for sure.
love
That
that.
is for sure.
Now, are you hoping to get into teaching here in Canada? Is that on your radar, or pursuing your artistic talent?
I have never considered myself to be a teacher. For me, I
Okay.
consider myself to be an educator
Yes.
and one who loves to just impart knowledge. And I
Mm,
don't think that I would be confined. I would want to be confined to a classroom. I would want to just, whether it be have workshops, have seminars, and impart what I know to other persons. But to be stable in the classroom like every day, I've done it for 10 years.
yeah.
And I think now it's time for me to grow. And it's time
Beautiful.
for me to just make a change and a shift because for me, the world is vast and I would like to
Oh,
explore all facets
yes.
of Jamieson Edward. Fleur Fantasie is one. My
Yeah.
spoken word poetry name is Original, so
Yes.
that's another one.
That's
So
another.
I just continue peeling off the layers and just showing off the brightness
Oh
of the
man, I
light.
love that. I love that. I think that's, really for all of us, that's really what we need to be doing, is exploring the essence of who we are and what brings us true joy and happiness. And I think that comes from expressing our authenticity rather than trying to fit into the box or the place our parents would be comfortable if we do this, that makes mom and dad happy, or our siblings, or our neighbors, or whoever, right? Who do I make comfortable? I've
Yeah,
been striving to find ways to make people uncomfortable.
that's important. And they've always said you must be uncomfortable first before you get comfortable.
Yeah, because that discomfort actually is an opportunity for growth,
Mhm.
an opportunity to become more of who we really are. And it also is an opportunity kind of to explore the conditioning we received through our youth that maybe has us living a less than experience.
Limiting us in a box, like it must be done
Yeah,
this way, that way. And then if you deviate
yeah.
from that, then you're a sinner. And then you're doing something bad and you're on the wrong path. No.
Sinner, that's sin is such a great one, because, of course, that's something that, we hear a lot. And what we don't hear is that sin is an archery term that means miss the mark.
Mhm.
So, yes, we're all sinners, but that's not a bad thing. It means I tried, I missed the mark, let me try again.
Yeah.
How
Amazing.
great would that be?
Yeah.
So what is your hope? Like, how long have you been in Canada now? That I didn't ask you. When did you immigrate?
So I've been in Canada for 9 months now.
9 months. Oh, you're the birth. This is the birth of the baby on
Yes,
my
I
show.
told you. I told. Oh! I just checked the connection. Yeah, 9 months. Oh my God.
Well, it does take 9 months to have a baby. So
Yes, yes.
I love that. I love that. So as you're perfecting your drag character, but also your poetry. So I mean, I love Fleur Fantasy. Oh, she's awesome. But I also want to know about your poetry. So tell me, what got you into that? Is it because literature has been kind of important to you, or what got you into poetry?
So I've always been one who loved writing. I would write like short speeches for pageant contestants back home, or I would write the scripts like for monologues. And that's how it started. And then when I completed my master's degree, I'm like, since I'm a trained dancer, I wouldn't want to do dance as my final project. Let me delve into the writing sphere. And I actually explore the healing through writing. And this becomes quite personal because my father died of HIV and I never got to know him. He
Sorry to
died
hear
when I
that.
was 6. Thank you.
Oh,
And I basically did research on how you can get healing through writing. I
mhm.
interviewed persons who knew my dad, and I wrote poetry expressing trying to live his life through the experiences of other persons and also expressing how I felt being that he was not present in my life and how I dealt with his absence because it gravely
Oh,
affected me and
of
I did
course.
not know how to come to terms with it up until I wrote it all out on paper. And I know I wrote it, but when I read it, I'm like, I can feel every single detail and emotion that this writer wants me to feel. Referring to me, I'm like, this is great work. Like, this is great work. And for me,
Yeah,
it all came from my heart. And
yeah.
in this poetry book, it shows you my journey of self-discovery, my journey of where I felt hurt, where I felt defeated, where I yearned for a father's affection, yearned for that father figure to be there with me, how I navigated life vicariously, how I picked up myself, how I learned how to love self, how I learned how to love being amongst family, and how I have grown and how I have transformed. So we can see a complete cycle of my life through my poetry. It's in the
Wow.
editing stages right now, and hopefully this book will be released soon because it has always been a dream of mine, which is now going to be a goal, an accomplished goal that is.
An accomplished goal very shortly.
Yes.
Very
Well,
shortly. This is
this
awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we're going to come back. And I don't know if you have a sample of your poetry or if you remember something that you can recite, but I'd love to hear some of that. So we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching The Joy Show here on the New Thought Media Network and my guest, Jamieson Edward. And we are going to be back in just about 2 minutes. Don't go away.
People of African Descent New Thought Group proudly presents Celebrating Our Soul, Consciously Creating Change at Unity Village, Thursday, August 1st through Sunday, August 4th. Some of our greatest keynote speakers, some of our finest musicians and vocalists, some of our amazing and experienced panelists, and some of our fabulous masterclass presenters will be there for you at Celebrating Our Soul, Consciously Creating Change at Unity Village this summer. Regular registration ends June 30th, so don't delay. Register today at padntg.com. Sponsorship opportunities are available at padntg.com. Volunteer opportunities are available at padntg.com. Go there now, padntg.com. See you there.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Spiritual Center, Kitchener, Om Center for Spiritual Living, La Mesa. Satya Center. Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Unity of Savannah. And Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle. As well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for making New Thought Media Network a place to be. Please come be you. And remember, like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Joy Show. So, Jamieson, we were just talking about your poetry. Can you share?
Yes. Okay, so this one is entitled In His Time.
Okay.
It's a short. It's one of the shortest ones.
Okay.
In His time. Affairs of the heart in silence, affairs of the mind not fazed by solitude. The pillars of shed light upon his heart brightens the soul to shine in the dark. Living the heart fulfilled and content, basking in the essence of his message to repent. Never wanting or asking for a spark, wandering eyes get lost in the dark. His countenance illuminated by his spirit, breathing merrywords of blessings to inherit. The kindness of hearts praises his selfless grace. Likewise, his aura never bows in disgrace. To have is to hold, his own is to mold. Day after day, his eyes set on his way for the making of a man, ready to take his place, fulfilling his plan.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's absolutely wow. Yeah, you need to publish this book so I can buy it and read it.
Definitely. It's going to be published. It's going to be published.
Wow, I love that. Now, do you do speaking engagements as well? Like, do you just do presentations of whatever, talking about whatever?
Well, I used to back home, but now moving into Canada, I'm just trying to establish networks and allowing persons to see my wealth of talent and hoping that they would allow me or give me the opportunity to have sessions or to be in such spaces. So I haven't done any, well, I did one, yes. I did the newcomer culmination activity with the Metropolitan Church of Toronto.
Nice.
The LGBTQ newcomers, they went through a series of workshops over 3 months. So this culmination workshop touched on various topics such as HIV/AIDS, sexually transmitted diseases, dating, pronouns, and basically it was just a time for them to just work together and just present what they knew or what they learned in their own way. And I must say that hosting that session with the community members, it was indeed a great privilege. The presentations range from love letters to dancing to drama. It was beyond this world.
That's fantastic. And that's the thing that makes a difference in the world overall, is when we can share our gifts, which encourages, inspires, and creates space for others to discover their own incredible and remarkable talents so that they could share.
That is so true. I totally agree with it.
I love it. Now, you have a master's. What is your master's in?
Creative arts with a focus on entrepreneurship.
I'm so surprised. Of course it is. Of course it is. You're an artist from end to end. No question. Yeah. So as you're moving along and exploring your own path here in Canada, what's it like? I mean, you were raised in Jamaica?
Well, just a point of correction. I'm from St. Lucia, although I'm wearing a
Jamaican.
Oh,
I love St. Lucia. My favorite people in the world are from St. Lucia.
I am originally born and raised St. Lucia, but I got this beautiful Jamaican shirt, which I love. So I'm just
Yes.
wearing it. So person may say, "Hey, you from Jamaica?" I'm like, "No, I'm from St. Lucia." So
From St. Lucia. Okay, well, my apologies for getting that wrong. I saw your shirt and went, wait a minute. Okay. So St. Lucia, I've not been there, but oh man, I want to go.
you should.
It is beautiful. When I first moved to Toronto
Mhm.
to start a spiritual center here, I found an apartment, and it was in the basement of a house. And the couple who owned the house, she was from St. Lucia, and he was from not St. Lucia. No, I can't remember. Um, but he walked me down the aisle when I got married. Yeah, like he
Oh,
He
wow.
was yeah, he was my landlord, him and his wife, they're just such beautiful, beautiful people, and I lived in their home for 3 years. I rented a space from them, and
Mhm.
then when I got married, uh, I asked Brian if he would please walk me down the aisle, and he agreed. I just felt so great to have someone who had been such a big part of me coming to Toronto and finding my way here because I came with nothing, 40 bucks and a dream. No, I came from the other side of Canada, but I also came with a one-way plane ticket because I was real clear I was staying. So I found a way to make all that happen. But it was interesting that it was this family who originally were from St. Lucia that took me in
Mhm.
and took care of me because there were times I was starting a spiritual center. I didn't have a lot of money, and so I would be late on my rent, and they were like, "It's all good. It's all good." They were amazing. They were amazing. I just had such a beautiful home life immediately when I got here, which made me feel very, very blessed. So St. Lucia, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go. I really want to go. You
You
just
should. You
reignited that
should.
little I gotta go check that out. I love it.
Yes,
So
yes.
now that you're here, is there anywhere else in Canada that you've thought about exploring, or is Toronto it?
Well, Toronto is it for now. I think,
Yes.
I just want to get extremely settled. And
Yeah.
then after I could look at exploring different paths. And
Yes.
then I could see, okay, maybe I might just move to Montreal, or maybe I might just go to British Columbia, or maybe I might just stay.
Or
So
maybe you'll just
who
stay
knows?
here.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice thing about Toronto is it really is kind of the hub of the entertainment industry in
Mhm.
Canada, like LA or New York in the US, Toronto, also Vancouver, Montreal, but Toronto's definitely the big. It's sometimes referred to as North Hollywood. So it's definitely a hub of the entertainment industry. So definitely a good place to be to launch this career.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to stay. Come on, let's make it happen.
I love it. I love it. So if there was one thing about your life that you would want to shift or change, is there anything about your life right now that you would want to be different if you could change it?
I would not want to be different, primarily because I love who I am.
Nice. I
I
like
have
that.
come to terms with appreciating my flaws, appreciating what makes me Jameson.
Yeah.
One thing that I would want to do more of is get more involved in community at a younger age. I
Yes.
started when I was a bit older, but for me, I'm like, if I started when I was younger, then I would have had such a major impact because I would have done so many different things. But I guess it's too late to do that. But I'm grateful for
And
being in community right
somebody once, I think it was, I think it might have been, I can't, Confucius maybe, who said, when's the best time to plant a tree? Well, of course, 20 years ago.
now. Hmm.
When's the second best time? Now. So, although had you got into this earlier, yes, you would be, but you would have missed out on all of the beautiful things that have brought you to the now moment. right? So all of it has added to the flavor, the excitement, the beauty that is Jameson and Fleur Fantasy. Look at oh, thank you, Deja. So beautiful. And the gorgeous, gorgeous,
Oh,
gorgeous. Oh,
it
that
be
is
so
beautiful.
emotional.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's, it was such a beautiful performance, and you looked so gorgeous. And the song was perfect for my lesson, for my topic on Sunday. Like all of it was truly, truly mm, so good. A great way to launch Pride Week,
Yeah.
which or Pride Month, forget Pride Week, Pride Month.
Yeah.
So we're launching Pride Month. So I'm so excited that you were part of that, because that to me is a great way to kick things off. And I think that the energy that you bring brings like such joy. And that for me is one of the most beautiful things about you, is that smile that you have, that way you connect with people. You're obviously incredibly intelligent, remarkably talented, and I'm just a little bit in awe, and very, very grateful to get to know you, because you do bring a certain, I don't know, flair to life. You make it fun and interesting and beautiful, and so I love that. I love that. Now, have you faced any challenges here with, with lifestyle or drag or anything like that? Has anything been a difficulty?
I have faced the challenges.
Yes.
One of them being not having somewhere to stay. Um,
Ah, okay. Where are you staying?
I'm currently staying at one of the shelters organized by the government of Canada, and for me, this is where I call home. I feel welcome there. I am mentally at peace. I have a joy within my heart when I'm there.
Oh,
And for me, this is my knight in shining armor. Prior to
oh,
that, I was just moving from one location to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Um,
mm.
Recognizing that I have two siblings there, and they kind of did not stretch their arms out to me. It was okay. I did feel hurt.
You
But
have siblings here,
yes, I have an older brother and an older sister. Yeah,
and they haven't taken you in? I'll
it's
pretend I'm your mom and I'll go give them a talking to.
it's been tough seeing that we've had a bond, and now for whatever reason, I mean, I shed light wherever I go. I don't disrespect persons. I am the very
No,
same
you
person
don't.
you see on camera is who I am in person. And I guess other persons have their own lives, so I can't, look down on someone because they don't want to extend a hand. But for me, I can bless the situation and say, "Hey, I forgive you. It's time for me to move on." And what I recognize is that I held on to that hurt in my heart, and it was affecting me. So I had to set myself free. And from the time I set myself free, I have just been at peace. And entering the shelter on January 17th, this was my moment of freedom, my moment of self restoration, my moment of finding peace within, and my moment of being in a safe haven.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm so disappointed in your siblings, I have to say. And if I had a bigger house, I would take you in.
Thank you.
Because I mean, I've moved into a smaller place, so I have a lot less room for me. It's probably good because I would be bringing everybody home. When I was a
So
little kid, I would bring home kittens. Now I bring home people.
yeah, so this was my only challenge, not having a because I was just moving from one house to the next house to the next house to the next
Yeah,
house. And it wasn't good because each house had their own restrictions, their own challenges. So
of
I was
course.
walking on eggshells, but being at the shelter organized by the state, um, I feel very much at peace and at ease. The staff are very warm and friendly. Everybody knows Jameson. I always greet everybody with a smile. I respect everyone, and I treat everyone the way I would like to be treated. I don't complain, but rather I see my daily living as one that is, preparing me for what is to come.
Yeah,
And I hold on to that. And I'm a strong believer in this four-letter word called hope. And that has been in my heart for a very long time. And it
I love
continues to guide me and propel me towards success. It propels me towards wanting to be immersed in community and, most importantly, exposing and expressing my art to all those around me.
that. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm so glad you're in a safe place because that's not the case for everybody who is coming in. So I'm really, really glad to hear that you are. That's wonderful. And as you move forward, like what are your plans? What are your plans for celebration this month, Pride Month? What do you have any big plans or things that you get to do? Any performances coming up that I can tell people about?
Well, you actually started the performance. That's the first thing you should know.
Yay!
Tomorrow, which is Saturday, the 8th, I
Yeah,
got the opportunity to perform at Newcomer Pride. It's the African Newcomer Pride, which is going to take place at 349 Ontario Street from 12 to 5. I will be doing two performances, two 10-minute slots, one as Fleur Fantasie, and the second performance as original, the spoken word poetry artist. Yes,
beautiful. What was that address again? 349
Ontario Street.
Ontario Street. Okay. And that's from noon to 5.
But I would be going on from 2:30 and 3:30. Yeah.
2:30. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I loved that. That's so, oh, thank you, Deja, for putting that up. Yeah, I think anybody who wants to see Jameson perform, please check this out tomorrow, Saturday. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm going to be in a meeting until probably 3. So, I'll have to see if my meeting ends early, if I can zip down, because I would love to see you perform again. And so what other things have you got going on this month? Anything else you've been booked for?
Well, that's all for now.
For now, okay.
Last night, I gave off my service as a volunteer at the Rainbow Railroad Freedom event, which
Beautiful.
was a major success. And, I was happy being in a space, where I am
Yeah.
just a born community member and seeing one of my favorite drag queens, Shea Coulee.
Shea Coulee. Oh, I would have loved to see Shea Coulee.
This
Oh,
was
yes.
spectacular. And also seeing Priyanka in person, we got to take a picture. So that was nice.
Because Priyanka's from Toronto. Well, not from Toronto, but outside Toronto, Whitby, I think.
Yes. Yeah. The queen, well, the second queen of the north. So Brooklyn Heights first. Oh, I love
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Heights first,
Heights.
Priyanka second. Yep.
Priyanka second, yes.
Oh,
And
oh
Sasha
my
Colby
goodness.
was there as well. So she did a spectacular performance, and we had some of the local queens. They also went on stage and they gave it their
And did
all.
you perform as Fleur? Were you?
No, I was there as a volunteer. But you
Uh,
see, many people don't know about Fleur Fantasy, and thanks to people
oh,
like you, Barbara, for bringing
yeah,
me on your show so other persons could see me, hear me, and just know who
yeah,
I am as a person. So if they do have, an event and they would like me to be there to support or perform, then I would get an opportunity. And I must
yeah.
say that you have provided an open, safe space that encourages, uplifts, and it educates others. And thank you for that, Barbara.
Yeah, no, that's really important to me. And I'm hoping that my audiences will grow and expand in that space so that more and more people can come and just realize that who you are is sufficient. No masks required, no pretense needed. You will be loved and respected just because you breathe. And that to me is a welcoming space where you draw a breath, you're welcome. And that's what I've been striving to create. Because to me, I spent many years as a young person feeling very unpopular and not treated very well. And then as a teenager, going through numerous challenges as a young girl. And, those things kind of mark you a little bit as you get into your adult life. But I think for me, what it's caused is a greater sense of compassion. If there's anything I can do to help others, I strive to do that.
Awesome.
So, yeah, that makes a big difference. Big difference.
Definitely.
So now moving forward, we need to get you booked into a few more things.
Yes, for sure. We do, we do, we
So
do.
everybody out there who watches this, if you'd like more information on Fleur Fantasie, Jamieson Edward, you can contact me at revbarbara@rogers.com. Go to the website, CSL on the Lake. We will hook you up. We will get you connected with this remarkable performer. So moving forward, what are some of the things you would like to be doing over the next, say, through the summer? What are some of the things you would enjoy doing that could help to build your persona here in Toronto so that people know who you are?
Well, one is performing more at
Yes,
various events, showing a diverse range of performances because I
yes.
am very much diverse, and exploring more of my poetry. Hopefully by August, God, by August this year, I would be releasing my books, my poetry
Yeah.
books. So that is going to come mainstream, and just continue going to various open mics and just letting the world know what my art is and what my art can do.
Mhm.
And I think that would get me where I need to be, and
Yeah, it's
continuously developing on my craft, writing more, and just, it doesn't always have to be for money, because for me, exposure is something that money can't buy.
true.
And it is more about, being in the space for people to see you and recognize you. Let's look at, we have several models who got discovered just being in spaces, several famous people who got discovered just being in the right spaces with the right persons around. So who's to say that my journey may not be similar to theirs? So I
Exactly.
welcome the opportunity, and I would just take hold of it in an effort to continue building on Flow Fantasy and Original.
I love that. Now, besides poetry, is there any other writing you do? Like, do you do any short stories or things like that? Like, is there any, or is it mainly poetry?
I have done short stories, but I must say, I love narrative writing. So I do have some narrative writing. All I was wanting to explore writing a book of narrative style, but I'm not too convinced as yet. um, Another skill of mine that you don't know is that I am a pageant coach. So I would usually groom pageant contestants for pageants. So I would help with the wardrobe, designing the gowns, teaching them how to walk in the heels, because I too could do a fabulous job walking in my shoes, darling.
You do. Better than me. I
And I
used to
was,
be able to walk in heels, but not so much anymore.
and I am a strong advocate for youth development, and I have been lending my services to the Building Power program at 519, which works with young teenagers.
Yeah.
And this has been an amazing experience as well.
Uh,
So I'm just continuing to just be immersed in community and giving of my all for the betterment of ensuring that our rights are there, ensuring that we have less hate, less discrimination, but we have more equity. I don't want equality. I want equity.
Equity. Yes. Yes.
Meet us on the same page. No, don't give you, and then no. Equity, we all get the same. You get 10, I get 10, she gets 10, he gets 10, they get 10, it gets 10. We all
Everybody wins in equity.
yes, everybody.
Everybody wins. I love that.
Love for all.
So we're down to our last few minutes. And I know the time goes by so quick. Some days so fast, so fast. So we're down to the last 10 minutes. And I'm just curious. You talked about being a dancer. What
Yes.
is your style of dance? What is your dance style?
I have been trained in modern contemporary dance, Afro-Caribbean dancing, and folk dancing as well. And I have been acting too. God, I should not mention this because I'm telling you too many things.
No. You got to tell it all because there's just one
So,
year.
yeah, I definitely want to continue doing that as well, particularly on-screen acting. I did one major film back home. That's for a movie called From Paradise with Love. It's going to be released in the summer, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
And
good. Let me know, please.
oh, Barbara, you will get that message. Just once you see that ping ping, just know it's Jamieson on the line.
It's Jameson on the line letting me know. Jameson, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to have spent this time with you. I loved your performance on Sunday, and I'm so grateful that you were willing to do that. And I'm going to have you back to do more with my services because you bring such a light, and I always love to share that with the world. Thank you for being you, because you really are a really remarkable individual. And I'm so honored to get to know you.
I appreciate it so much from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, thank you again. And for everybody who's watching, you can reach out to Jameson through me. So go to cslonthelake.com and send me a message or send it to revbarbara@rogers.com, and I will get you connected with this remarkable individual. Thank you for watching. This is The Joy Show on the New Thought Media Network. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, consider a donation to the network. Let's keep good news rolling. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jameson.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Yeah.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network. Come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.